Hey there, my name is Kelly Dale and I'm owner of Off the Beaten Path located in Forest City, North Carolina. For today's video, I'm going to show you how to make a really fun, quick, and simple ring. And the good thing about this, I love how, I know like for me, I pick up every single craft that comes along. Like I love fabrics and I love beads and not too much scrapbooking, but you know, I like a lot of stuff. So I love how I can take one medium and put it into another medium and come out with something that I really love. So for the video today, I'm going to be teaching you how to make this beautiful fabric flower ring. Now, these fabric flowers are super easy to make, and you only need just a few little materials to make the ring. The first thing that you need to do, and you'll want to do, is you'll need a ring base. So this is the same ring base that I've used in the previous for the shower part rings, and you can see it's got the 4 prongs. Now the thing with this ring base is that it's cupped. It's not completely flat here on the inside. I've tried a couple of ring bases with this ring. The cup base like this one works the best because it gives more hold to the actual fabric when we set the flower down inside the cup. So I recommend these cups. You can use the regular ones, but it doesn't matter. I do have these for sale on our Etsy site where you can buy just this without the ring part. So it works out pretty good. And what you'll want to do is take you a nice pair of sharp cutters. Don't use your really good cutters, okay? Just use an extra pair laying around. And go ahead and trim off your 4 prongs that are on here. If you don't want to cut them off, just simply take a pair of flat nose pliers and press them down flat. But I just trim them off. It takes no time. The second thing you'll need is some kind of button or center for your flower. This one here, I have used just a very simple opal colored button. For the fabric that I'm going to use today, I'm going to be using just a very simple gold button. So there's a lot, I mean, you can use anything for the center. It can be a bead, it can be a cabochon, it can be a button, whatever you want to do. So that's the really good fun part about it. The only other thing you'll need is some fabric and a glue gun. And I've already got my glue gun heated up, going ready for me. And I've already got my circles cut. Now, the thing to understand about the ring is your fabric. I'm using just simple cotton fabric, and to me that works the best. You can use pretty much any fabric. I would not suggest using like a taffeta or a satin because it frays so easy. You'll have to use some fray check on it. But what I've done basically is I have cut out circles of fabric. Now, Olfa, which is O-L-F-A, has a wonderful circle cutter that you can use to cut out your circles. And you can find those at Michael's and Hobby Lobby. I have not, or I'm sorry, Michael's and Joann. I have not been able to find them at Hobby Lobby. But Michael's and Joann do have them. They're a little pricey though. They're about $27.99. So the best thing to do is if you have a pill bottle or a shot glass or something at your house that has a smaller diameter, you can just trace the the bottoms on your fabric and then use your scissors to cut out the circles. And if you're not going to get into these fabric flowers, then that's definitely the way to go. The size circle you cut will be the size finished flower that you have. So that's the thing to think about when you cut out your circles, because when you look at how big it is, that will be how big your finished flower is. But it takes 6 circles to make 1 flower. And what you'll want to do is once you have your circles cut, use your iron and fold it in half and iron the crease so that you'll have a nice flat crease to your circles. And what I like to do, I love to make these flowers. So I actually take and cut out a whole bunch of circles at one time. Then I iron all of them. And what I do is I take all 6 and I pin them together with just a straight pin or a little head pin. And so that way when I'm out town and I'm having to wait, or if I go to a ball game, you know, I can just pull out my little bag with my needle and stitch these flowers up and already have them there to work with. So it's really fun to do, but go ahead and cut out your 6 circles, fold them in half, iron them, and I'll show you how to put the circles together to make your flower, how to add your center, and then how to make it into the ring. Okay, so I've threaded a needle onto about 12 inches of fire line, and I'm using the clear. You can use the smoke. Do not use regular sewing thread with this project. If you use regular sewing thread, you're going to find that they pop apart a lot easier. Believe me, I learned the hard way. But I've got it threaded on to about 12 inches of fire line. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that's folded in half, and I've ironed here. So now I'm going to take and I'm going to fold the flower in half so that it's just like this. Now I'm going to start stitching, and I'm just going to hand stitch real quick, and I'm just going to stitch along the curved side here. I do not want to stitch any of my fold parts here. I'm just going to work and stitch these curved parts. And the way you start the first flower the way you start the first flower, you need to start all the rest of the petals the same way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the side that I folded that's open, and I'm going to stick the needle through the back to the front, and then I'm just going to do like a little running stitch across the edge of the petal so that it looks just like that right there. Okay, just a quick running stitch, and then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull it onto the thread. Then I'm going to take my next one, fold it in half, and then do the same thing. I'm just going to do a quick running stitch. One thing that you need to understand is that if you do the running stitch really tight and you don't leave a lot of space between your stitches, you are going to have a very big, large center to your flower. If you do real open stitches like I'm doing, then you will have a much smaller center to the flower. And again, I'm starting every flower the same exact side. And you're just going to stitch all 6, folding them, and then doing your running stitch. I called this whip stitch one time, and somebody was quick to correct me. I'm not great with my sewing terminology. You know, it does its purpose, so. Okay, so this will be my 5th. And you can use less or you can use more petals if you want to do bigger ones. It's completely up to you. I just like how the 6th petal looks. And you can see I've just got all of my little petals. I haven't pulled them down all the way. I've just got them here just like this. And now I'm going to add this 6th petal. Okay, now I'm going to hold my petals and I'm going to pull the thread until I have just a small tail. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my working thread and my tail, and I'm going to tie these two together. And when you tie them, it'll look just like this. And if you have any little petals that look like they might be out of shape or whatever, shape them back up. No problem. Make them do what you want them to do. And just put a couple of really good knots in your flower. Now, once you have the knots, then you can take scissors or cutters and trim off your tails. These are not the best cutters in the world, so it may take me a little while here. There we go. Okay, so there's that. Now, the fun thing about the flower is that And I'm just going to show you. You'll want to wait till you actually have it on the base to finish it out. But you can actually take and grab a hold of each side of the flower and pull it out. And it will give you a more 3D effect to your flower. But what you'll do is, like I said in the prep, go ahead and either turn down or trim off your corner pieces for your ring. And then take your hot glue gun and you're going to put a dab of hot glue in the center of your thing. Now pick which side of the flower you like best, and then make sure you center the flower and press it down onto the ring base. The great thing about hot glue is that it dries really quickly. Just be careful not to get it on yourself because you will burn and it will hurt. Okay, so now I have my flower attached to the base, and this is one of the adjustable ring bases, so it's one size fits all. And I want to glue my button in place to finish it off, which I think that will just add exactly what I want there. So I'm going to take my glue gun. I'm going to put a dab of glue here in the center. Be sure not to put too much, as it will overflow and it won't look good with your button. But push it down in there, making sure it's going to cover your center part. You don't want any of the yucky part in the center showing. So make sure it's covered, and voila, you have the finished flower. When it dries, you can then take each side of the flower and then grab each side and pull it apart for a more 3D effect. I actually have been wearing these flower rings for a couple of weeks now because I wanted to, number one, wear them and see how they would do hold up to all the you know, normal things that we do every day, and they actually hold up really well. I almost wonder if you couldn't take and put a little Scotch Guard on it so it'll be a little bit more waterproof, but I've washed my hands with these on. I've done a little bit of everything. So it's a fun, new, simple, easy tutorial that I hope you guys enjoyed. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video today and you learned how to make these fun rings. I wanted to remind you real quickly about our contest we have on Etsy. If you go to our Etsy store, which is listed here at the bottom, you purchase something from our Etsy store, the whole month of August and September, you will get your name put in the drawing to win a tutorial and a kit from our store. So be sure, run over to Etsy, purchase something so you can get your name in the pot. Also, one more thing, I don't do this too often, but I have a new favorite book that I wanted to let you guys know about. It's called Beaded Riffs, and it's by Rachel Nelson Smith. This book is fantastic. It's by Lark Books, and any jewelry that you see me wear in the near future will probably come out of this book. I mean, it's really, really, really good. You know, I love Marsha DeCoster's book, Beaded Opulence, that Lark came out with, and then this is my next favorite. So be sure, I don't have copies of this book. I actually picked this up at Barnes & Noble. So be sure and head over to Amazon or your local bookstore or Barnes & Noble and get you a copy of this book. You will not be sorry. This is a great book. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and be sure and come back next week to learn another fantastic beading project. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Bye-bye.